ليزدادوا إيمانا مع إيمانهم ولله جنود السماوات والأرض وكان الله عليما حكيما بحرمة اللهم فصل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد خاتم النبيين وإمام المرسلين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
Amen. Shukran, Imam Jallo. Bishop, you have the floor. You can offer some prayers, and we congratulate you on the 5th year of your appointment as Bishop.
Thank you,
and
Chairman.
I pray for you.
Thank you, Chairman. Praise, oh praise our God and King, himself adoration sing, for his mercies still endure, ever faithful and ever sure. Father in heaven, we continue to thank you for your creation and preservation of all humankind that you have created in your image and in your own likeness. We continue to submit ourselves, Trrc, under your guidance, your direction, your protection. We thank you for the past sessions, and we continue to trust upon you for this session and the remaining sessions. We continue to ask that you shall grant by your Holy Spirit's power that reconciliation will be possible, that reparations will be possible, and that unity, peace, truth, the truth-seeking will come out in the most positive way. And we continue to commit all our witnesses to you. And we pray that by your grace, they shall come and speak the truth and only the truth. And we pray for the population and the diaspora, that you grant them the extra patience to allow the due process to take its proper course. This we ask through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Bishop Odeko. We are starting a new session today, and as usual, we read a statement on behalf of the Commission. I will do so now, recalling what we had been doing and where we stopped the last time around and what our immediate plans are. The statement on behalf of the Chair is as follows. Today, Monday, 25th January 2021, the TRRC will begin its 20th session of public hearings. As at the end of the 19th session, the Commission had heard testimonies from 321 witnesses. Of these, 251 were male and 72 were female. Out of the total of witnesses appearing before the Commission so far, 208 were victims and 59 were self-confessed perpetrators and adversely mentioned persons. 29 witnesses have testified via video link from the Gambian diaspora. These hearings also included several protected witnesses and closed-door testimonies. As we continue our institutional hearings today, the focus remains the National Intelligence Agency, NIA. In this context, the Commission, since 22nd October 2020, heard testimonies from 51 witnesses comprising 45 victims and 6 perpetrators. The perpetrators confessed to having meted out to their fellow citizens, sometimes with the involvement of the junglers, various forms of torture and abuse. These citizens, some of whom committed no crime whatsoever, were arbitrarily arrested by NIA agents and illegally detained without trial. The tortures were carried out ostensibly to extract confessions, by coercion of course, from the detainees. It was clear from the testimonies the Commission heard that the perpetrators weren't the innocent and the ignorant enablers of the dictatorship, as some portrayed themselves to be. They were wicked torturers who willingly brutalized innocent Gambians for money or favor. Some perpetrators gave flimsy excuses that if they did not carry out the superior orders to torture a detainee, they would themselves be tortured. They claimed that they had no choice. But of course, they have a duty not to implement unlawful orders, and no amount of explanation can excuse the cruel and inhumane treatment they inflicted on their victims. These naked truths, albeit hard and painful, must be recorded. I believe we would continue.
Yes, please.
Indeed, the governing legislative mandate requires this commission to investigate, among other things, the nature, causes, including antecedents, circumstances, motives, and perspectives which led to the gross violations and abuses of the human rights of these detainees. The TRRC but as a truth-seeking mechanism to create an impact of human rights from July 1994 to January 2017 to, among other things, promote healing and reconciliation and prevent a repeat of the violations and abuses suffered by the victims. Slowly but surely, the Commission is exposing the truth of the horrifying treatment the detainees endured at the hands of state agents, both at NIA headquarters and the other secret torture centers across the country. With regard to the implementation of the third component of the TRRC mandate, i.e. reparations, I wish to provide the following update. The TRRC Act 2017 provides in Section 20 that, quote, the Commission may grant reparations to an applicant who is a victim upon consideration of the evidence received or obtained. It further provides that, quote, the Commission may make regulations for the granting of reparations under the Act, end quote. On 14 December 2020, the TRRC submitted to the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice the text of the regulations approved by the Commission for publication in the Gazette. We are still waiting for action to be taken on that. Pending such publication, the TRRC informed the Attorney General and Minister of Justice that it will provisionally apply the regulations with a view to considering urgently the applications submitted by victims. The TRRC will shortly issue a call for the submission and consideration of such applications. In conclusion, please allow me to remind the public that in the light of the COVID-19 disruptions of its summer public hearings, the Commission on 18 November 2020 recommended to the President of the Republic to extend the time granted to TRRC until 30 June 2021. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice informed the Commission that the President, pursuant to Section 3, Paragraph 2 of the Act, the TRRC Act 2017, approved the said recommendation. The Commission is working hard to conclude its work by that date and submit its final report containing its findings and recommendations to the President during the first week of July 2021. In the meantime, we invite you to join the TRRC in our ongoing national journey of discovery. The truth we discover together is not pretty and will not be pretty, but it is a truth that will set us all free from a horrendous past of wanton violations and abuses of human rights. And that discovery will cement our resolve to never again allow what happened here from July 1994 to January 2017 to ever happen again. We continue to seek the public's kind understanding and support. Thank you very much indeed for your attention. Council, if we are ready this morning's witness, you may proceed to bring him in.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, and members of the audience. May I ask that the witness be brought in, please?
Thank you. Council, are we ready? What's holding up?
We are sorting out the interpretation arrangements in the interpretation booth.
Thank you. Yeah, but they should have done.
Okay.
Hi, Babu Cham.
Man Babu Cham.
Hi, Babu Cham.
Man Babu Cham.
Man Babu Cham.
Do swear that.
Ange Watney.
Ange Watney.
I'll speak the truth,
dinaa wax dëgga
dinaa wax dëgg.
the whole truth,
dëgga bi yépp
dëgg bi yëpp.
and nothing but the truth.
duma fi wax leneen lu dul dëgga
ma fi wax leneen lu dul dëgg.
So help me God.
kon yàlla dimbale ma
yàlla jàppale ma.
Good morning, Mr. Cham. Welcome to the TRRC.
Cham ñu ngi laa nuyu di la dalal fii ci TRRC
maa ngi leen di fay.
I'm greeting back. Today we want to talk to you about your encounter with the NIA.
tey nag liñ bëgg a waxtaan ak yow moo di jokko bi nga xam ne am nga ko ak NIA
Concerning a botched drug transaction that took place in 2009.
mu aju nag ci xew-xew boo xam ne mu ngi amoon ci atum 2009
And we'd also want you to talk about your experience in the hands of the NIA during that period.
dinañ bëgg nga wax ñu jamono boobu lan nga yëg sa diggante ak waa NIA ci jamono boobu
Are you ready to proceed to talk about that?
léegi ndax pare nga pour waxtaanee ko
waa pare na.
Yes, I am ready. You have just taken a note to speak the truth. May I remind you that it is a criminal offense in the laws of this country to lie on the oath or to provide false testimony or false information to the TRRC.
da nga waat léegi nag ñuy laa fàttali ne yàqa luwaa la bu fekkee ne waat nga ba pare te waxu loolu loo xam ne du dëgg yàqa nga luwaa TRRC yàqa nga luwaa réew mi
dégg naa ko.
I have that. What are your full names, please?
naka nga tudda ak naka nga santa
suma tur Baboucar la.
My name is Babukar.
ma sant Cham.
My surname is Cham.
What's your date and place of birth?
kañ nga juddu ak fan nga juddoo
maa ngi juddoo Birkama.
I was born in Birkama
1961.
in 1961.
And where do you currently reside?
jamono ji fan nga dëkka
ba tey maa ngi Birkama.
Still, I'm living in Birkama.
What kind of work do you do?
ban façon ngi liggéey nga def
suma liggéey de mooy business rek.
I'm a businessman.
Good. Could you recall an incident that happened in Birkama in 2009 involving the drug squad, the NIA, and some individuals from Guinea-Bissau?
mun nga fàttaliku xew-xew boo xam ne amoon na atum 2009 ca Birkama te nag ñi nga xam ne ñooy drug squad yi NIA yi ak ay ñenn ñoo xam ne ñu nga bàyyeeko woon Bissau ñoom ñëpp ñu bokkoon ci
waaw mun naa ko fàttaliku.
Yes, I can remind.
Can you give us a background or a context of how that event took place?
mun nga ñoo wax rek xew-xew boobu naka la xewee
waaw.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
aca
waaw comme ni nga ko waxee rek 2009.
As you just said, in 2009,
dafa amoon bés ma nekk ci suma fiita bi.
there was a day I was with my fita.
ma am information foofu.
I got an information there
ci wàlli drogue bi ñuy wax ni.
about the drug case that you are talking about.
What information did you receive?
ban xibaar nga ci jot
waaw xibaar bi moo ne nit a ñëw woon ma ne because suñ ko doon defee suñ koñ la.
The information is about that somebody told me that what happened it was where we live.
mu won ma ne lii ma romba fële de lañ fa waxtaane yëfi drogue la de seen mbedd mi fële.
He told me what I passed there, what they are discussing is about drug.
ne ko drogue suñ boor mu ne waaw.
I told him drug in our area.
Did he
said yes.
tell you exactly where in your area?
ndax wax na la fan la sax digga seen boor
booba Birkama Jidda la.
Then that was Birkama Jida.
Did he tell you in which compound at Birkama Jida?
wax na la ban kër la ci ca Birkama Jida
waaw daf na ma maa ngi leen fekk bunti kër Tidiane Ndour.
He told me that I found them at the compound gate of Tijan Ndur.
ñu ngi waxtaan waaye ñi ma fekk ñuy waxtaan dëkkuñ fi de.
They were chatting, but the people that I met there, they are not native of that place.
waaye li ñoo waxtaan foofu ci mbiri drogue la dégg ñuy wax.
But what they are discussing about is about drug.
Did he tell you where those people were from?
wax na la nit ñooñu fan lañ bàyyeekoo.
waaw mu ne ma Bissau waa Bissau lañ.
Yes, he told me that they are from Bissau.
And by Bissau, you mean Guinea-Bissau?
Bissau loolu mooy Guinea-Bissau.
waaw Guinea-Bissau.
Yes, Guinea-Bissau.
Okay. Did you know this Keba Ndour before?
Keba Ndour mi xamoon nga ko balaa bés boobu.
waaw xamoon naa ko.
Yes, I knew Keba Ndour before.
Tell us the relationship you had with him, if any.
wax ñu bu fekkee ne am nga benn jokkoo ak moom ban façon ngi jokkoo la.
waaw moom kër gi ñoo wax noonu sax ne fa la gaay nekk noonu kër googu la suma kër la woon.
Yes, the compound that he was talking about, that compound, it's mine.
Was mine.
Was mine.
booba pàkka la nag.
It was just an empty land.
How did Keba Ndour come to own that land?
bon naka la Keba Ndour ñëwee nag ba moom pàkk boobu.
daf ko jënda.
He bought it.
From who?
ci kan.
ci man mi.
From me.
Your informant, the person who told you about this allegation of drug dealing in that compound, why do you think the person came to you?
kii la jox xibaar bi jox la xibaar yi mbiri drogue boobu ci kër googu noonu laa tax nga foog ne moom dafa ñëw ba ci yow mu wax la ko.
ñoo kooku li tax mu ñëw ci man wax ma ko moom xam na ne koñ bi ma dëkkee xale yi fa nekk sax di toxantu taay ak yi ñëpp jotee naag ñëpp parce que du ma ko dee alaaw foofu.
He knew that I had problem with all those, even those kids who used to play with drugs, because I'm not somebody that compromise with that.
I don't tolerate it.
I don't tolerate.
am na ci koñ boo xam ne fa lañ dee toog suma boor foofu.
There is a Johnson that they usually sit near my compound.
suñ déggee maa ngi ñëw ñu dégg suma machine moto dañoo daw.
If they had my vehicle's engine coming, they run away.
parce que façon bu ne def naa ko fa ak ñoom.
Because I make many dealings with them.
In a sense, you're telling us that you were an elder in that area who was against the use and dealing in drugs in your area.
dafa mel ni yow kilifa nga woon ci gox boobu nga xam ne daal yow ànduloo woon ci lépp loo xam ne moo di jëflante ak mbiri sneebar yi mbiri drogue yi.
voilà ba léegi sax ba fi ma toog nii ba tey maa ngi ci.
Still now I'm on it.
So, but that aside, do you think there is any other reason why this guy spoke to you about this?
gannaaw loolu rek ndax foog nga ne waa jooju am na leneen lu tax ba moom mu ñëw pour wax ak yow mbir mi.
amul benn reason.
There is no reason.
The fact that you were the previous owner of that house, of that compound, is that a reason why this guy would come to you to tell you?
ne comme que yow nag béréb boobu yow yaa ko moomoon pàkk boobu ndax xëj na loolu taxu tamit mu ñëw ci yow pour wax la ko.
waaw mun naa tax because moom yëgul ne jaay naa foofu. mun naa
Maybe
fii ne
it
ba
could be
tey maa
because
ko moom.
he was not aware that I already sold that land.
So what did you do when you received this information from this person?
bi la waa ji joxee xibaar bi lan nga def.
li ma def mooy dama leen boole ci drug squad yi.
I reported them to the drug squad.
Why did you report to the drug squad?
lu tax nga boole leen ci drug squad.
pour ñu ñëw def seen liggéey su fekkee dégg la drogue la ñoo liggéey foofu ñu jéem leen a clear foofu.
So that they can come and do their job. If at all they were dealing with drugs, they can clear them out.
In a sense, you are just doing your duty as a citizen to report a crime that was happening in your area, to report a vice that was existing in your area.
maanaam daal yow doomi réew bu baax nga boo xam ne rek da nga gis loo xam ne mu ngi xew ci sa gox gi te warul nga dem pour boole ko.
exactly loolu rek la woon.
Exactly, that was the only thing.
And in fact, it is our civic responsibility, all of us as citizens, to report crimes when they are being committed to our knowledge, especially those that would affect the people that we live with.
ndaxam sax warugal la képp koo xam ne doomi réew mi nga boo gisee dara loo xam ne mu ngi xew sa gox te warut nga boole ko surtout mu doon loo xam ne dafa lor ñi nga xam ne ñoo la wër.
Yaxaluwaa boo xam ne dafa lor ñi la wër. Thank you very much.
loolu rek a ma ci dugaloon.
That was the only thing, that was my only involvement.
And you thought by report, why did you actually go to the drug squad and not other institutions of government?
lan moo tax nag nga jubali rek dem yëgali ko waa drug squad te demuloo ci yeneen bunti liggéeykaay ci réew mi ci ron nguur gi.
waaw suma jàngalum soriya di xam naa ne drug squad ñoo saytu wàlli drug ci réew mi fii.
No matter how low educated I am, I know that drug squad is responsible of drugs.
moo tax dew ma NIA dew ma police ma dem ci drug squad.
That's why I didn't go to the NIA, I didn't go to the police, I went to the drug squad.
And your belief at the time was that the NIA was the government institution that had responsibility over this particular matter.
But jamono joju nag li nga yëg moo di ne NIA.
I'm sorry, I meant drug squad.
Drug squad ñoom ñooy bunta nguur gi nga xam ne ñoom lañ sas pour ñu saytu mbir yu demee noonu.
Wow.
Yes.
Who did you report the matter to at the drug squad?
Ba nga demee drug squad nag kan ci kan nga boole mbir yi.
Waaw ki ma njëkka o mooy Lamin Kabo.
The first person that I called was Lamin Kabo.
Why did you call Lamin Kabo?
Lana tax nga Lamin Kabo.
Waaw Lamin Kabo itam daanaka ñoo bokk koñ.
Lamin Kabo also, we share the same street.
Te ma xamoon ko tam bu baax di drug squad bi moom laa gën a miin foofu.
And I knew him very well at the drug squad. He's the only person that I know better.
You suggesting that he was working for the drug squad at the time?
yaa ngi wax ne moom moo doon liggéeyal drug squad jamono boobu.
Exactly, wow.
Exactly.
And your reason, therefore, for calling him was that this is a man who lived in almost the same street with you, and he also worked for the drug squad.
li waral nga oo ko sax mooy ne moom nit la koo xam ne mu ngi dëkk ci benn mbeddami ak yow te tamit mu ngi liggéeyal drug squad.
Wow.
Yes.
And what did you tell him?
lan nga ko wax.
dama ko oo bem uyu ma ne ko Lanka am na luñ ma wax fii léegi de bugga naa comme yow sa liggéey la nga jóg dem seeti leen.
I called him, I told him that I had an information as far as it concerned your job, you come and see them.
Did you tell him what was it that concerned his job that he had to go and see?
ndax ba nga ko wax na wax nga ko lan la mbir mi lan la loo xam ne mu ngi aju ci wàllu liggéeyam te dafa war a ñëw pour gis ko.
wax naa ko ko dama ko ne drogue lañ fa waxtaanee de.
I told him.
gisuma ko dew ma fa waaye jot naa di information demal nga seet leen.
I told him that they were talking about drug, though I didn't go there, but they are talking about drug, you have to go and see.
Did you speak to anybody else about it?
gannaaw moom nag ndax wax nga ko ak keneen.
waaw boosam.
Yes, his boss.
Who was the boss?
kan mooy boss
ba fa nekkoon time boobu fàtte naa turam nag.
The boss who was there, I forget his name.
bi ma ko ooyee dafa jox téléphone bi boosam ne ma wax ko suma boss balaa maa liif jóg fii nii.
The time I told him, he picked his phone and told me to tell the boss first before he leaves the place.
Who gave the phone to the boss?
kan moo jox téléphone bi boss bi.
moom Lanka.
He said Lanka.
moo jox boosam téléphone bi ma expliqué boosam ba pare. boosam ne ma kon mu ngi ñëw maa ngi ko boole nit mu ñu dem fa.
He gave the phone to his boss and he told me that I'm letting him come with another person so that you can go to the scene.
So not only did you speak to Lamin Kabu, aka Lanka, you also spoke to his superior, his officer commanding, about the allegations or the suggestion of drug dealing in your street, and he promised to deploy officers to the ground to deal with it. Is that what you said?
Bondar sa wax ji emul rek ci Lamin Kabo dañu di ko wax Lanka waaye wax nga koy tamit ki nga xam ne moo di boosam pour xamal ko li nga xam ne moo di xew ci gox bi te mu dig lay tamit ne dina boole ay nit yoo xam ne dina leen ebal ñu ñëw foofu noonu la.
Exactly, noonu la dem.
Yes, exactly, that's how it is.
Apart from that, that is passing the information on to Lanka, Lamin Kabu, and his superior, his officer commanding. Did you have anything else to do with this particular matter?
Gannaaw bu emul rek ci xibaar gi nga jotali ko Lamin Kaabu ba pare eggee ko tamit ki nga xam ne moo di kilifaam ndax am na leneen loo defaat gannaaw loolu.
No, suma liggéey foofu la yem.
No, that's where I did my job. That's where I will be separated.
You said you've never been to the place to know what was going on. That is when you spoke to Lanka. Did you go to the place subsequently to see what was going on?
wax nga ne balaa nga doon wax Lanka moomu jotuloo dem ci béréb bi waaye nag ndax gannaaw boo waxee moom ba pare mujjee woon ngaa dem seeti béréb boobu.
déedéet man ba tey suma tànka taxaw fa.
No, I have never stepped my foot there.
Okay. What happened afterwards?
lu xew nag gannaaw bi.
waa gannaaw gi li xew mooy bés boobu ci boppam maa ngi suma kër.
What happened later, on that very day, I was in my house.
ma tëdd ak suma njaboot yëpp.
I was with my family.
ci guddi.
At night.
for na 2:30 daal.
Around 2:30 a.m.
ma dégg suma bunti kër gi ñu di ko dóor yu métti.
I had a bang on my compound gate.
ba ma tiit ci eewu.
And I was up.
ma génn.
I went out.
maa ngi odoo tawel génn dem ma xam ne definitely suma bunta la ñëw dóor.
I wrapped a towel and I knew that it was my compound gate that was knocked.
ma dem ubbi bunti kër gi.
I opened the gate.
ma gis nit ñu taxaw ñeneen ndax juróom daal.
I saw some people standing almost to 5.
ma ne leen salaamaaleykum.
And I greeted them.
ñu fay ma ne leen lu xew ñu ne ma ci yow lañ ñëw.
They responded and I asked them what happened. They said, we come to see you.
ma ne ñëw ci man time bi ñu ne waaw.
I told them to come to me at this time of the night.
ma ne leen bismillah.
And I welcomed them.
ma dem ba ci état bi taxaw ñu ne ma nañ dem ci biir néeg bi.
I went up to the middle of the compound. They told me to go inside.
ma ne leen man suma jabar yeeg doom yëpp tëdd nañ di duñ waxtaan fii su fekkee wax ñu ne ma noonoo ci biir.
I told them that my family, everybody is in bed. Why not we chat here? They said no, inside.
ne waaw léegi yéen ñaan ngeen sax ñu ne ma ñun NIA lañ.
I asked them who you are. They said they are from the NIA.
Did they show you any document?
won nañ la benn kayit bu mun a wane ne waa NIA lañ.
wanuñ ma dara.
No, they have never shown me any document.
How about a warrant?
amul benn kayit bu wane tamit war na leen a jox doole ñu wisit sa néeg foofu.
dara lu ma li ñoo wax wanewuñ dara.
And they didn't show anything.
Who came? Can you tell us the names of the persons who came?
dañ ñu mun a wax tur yi ñi nga xam ne ñoo fa ñëwoon.
waaw.
Yes.
Go ahead.
ñi fa ñëwoon.
Those who came.
seen njiit li Sow la santa
The
Sow.
leader was surnamed Sow.
Which Sow is that?
ban Sow la ci.
booba jamono de fona director of operation la NIA or one of the directors.
That time he was one of the directors of the NIA.
Is he still working at the NIA or not?
mu ngi liggéey NIA ba léegi ndax.
waaw waaw.
Yes,
foog naa
he is
gis naa ko mu toog ci toogu bi fii sax maa ngi suma kër di ko seetaan fii.
Yes, I saw him on this street. I was in my house watching the TRC.
Well, if you have watched him testify before the commission, what position does he hold, if you can recall?
bu fekkee ne yow gis nga ko mu ñëw fii di joxe seedeem ci TRC bon ban ma xamal la yore woon doo ko mu ne xam.
la yore léegi.
lim yore léegi foo naa mooy seen njiit daal mooy director bi.
Now he is the director general.
He did not say director general. He said
he's their leader.
He is their boss.
He's their boss.
He is the director.
He's the director.
Thank you very much. But you mean Usman Sow, the Director General, who testified before the commission?
Bon ki nga wax bon mooy Ousmane Sow.
A few weeks ago.
Director General bi fi joxe seedeem ay bis ay yu néew ci gannaaw rek.
waaw xaw ma woon turam nag fàtte naa waaye Ousmane léegi Soumaël dal na ne Ousmane la.
It's Usman. I didn't know his name before, but now my mind is back. It's Usman Sow.
And who else?
ak kan.
waaw moom Ousmane ñoo fa ñëw.
Yes, Usman. And
ñoo wax Lamine Mané.
somebody called Lamine Mané.
ak Dembo Mbaye.
Dembo Mbaye.
Lamine Dabo.
Lamine Dabo.
Lamine Dabo.
There are others, but I forget their names.
Okay. And did they carry anything when they arrived at your home at that night?
Yes, they were with something.
Like what?
Weapons.
What kind of weapons?
Moy fetel.
Gun.
Wow, bi fetel la du jasi.
Yes, this is gun. It's not cutlass.
What kind of guns?
Ban façon fetel?
Ma xam nak ci fetel.
No,
Xam na fetel la dal.
I don't have a wider knowledge in weapons, but I know it's gun.
How did you feel at this time, 2:30 a.m., officers from the NIA burst into your house armed with rifles? How did you feel at this time?
Legi ñaari waxtu yi ci xaaji guddi ak genn wàll nga gis ay nit yoo xam ne ñu ngi bàyyee ko NIA ñëw amee ay fetel ñëw ci yow jamono boobu lan nga yëg.
Yëg naa lu métti.
I was very terrified.
Parce que jamono jooju.
Because at that time.
Suñ ne la NIA wax na sa tur sax.
If they said that NIA has even mentioned your name.
Dina am lu jóg ci yow.
Something you must feel something.
Waxuma la na nga tëdd ba past ñu ñëw wër sa kër.
Much more that you are in bed up to that time, they come to your house.
Because ñi amé won gon duguñ de suma bu kër gi lañ wër mut nañ 8 people.
Because those who were armed, they didn't enter, but they surround my compound. They were up to 8 people.
Ñu garé seen moto yi sa feeñ lampa yi moto yi ñuul kuk ama state out lañ jóge ama amuñ number.
They parked their vehicles outside with their headlights on, and I don't know whether they are from State House, but they are tinted black vehicles.
Ñi nekk ci biti ñoo amé fetel yi.
Those outside are the one armed with guns.
So ak ñi dugga suma biir néeg.
So and others who came to the house.
Ñooñu téewuñ fetel.
They were not armed.
Bima génné biñ ma yóbbu laa gis fetel yi ñu taxaw rang suma bunti kër.
When they arrested me and they were taking me, that's the time I saw those armed with weapons, guns.
Okay. So when they arrived, they insisted that you must go inside with them. What happened afterwards?
Léegi bañ accès nag ñu dal di forcé na nag nga dema ñoom ci biir gannaaw loolu lan moo xew.
Waaw dañ ñëw dugga ci biir ne dañoo saaj.
Yes, they came in, they said that they have to search.
Did they show you any document authorizing them to search your house?
Won nañ la benn kayit boo xam ne moo leen a dooleel pour ñu visiter sa néeg.
Ñii daal wonuñ ma dara lu ma ak seen doole NIA buñ accès ci man.
These people didn't show me anything, only their strength of being an NIA officer.
Only their power?
Their powers.
And what did they say to you after that?
Gannaaw loolu na lan lañ la wax.
Ñu ne dañ bëgg a saaj suma néeg.
They said that they want to conduct a search my house.
Ma ne leen bismillah.
And I welcome them.
Did they say what they were looking for?
Wax nañ la lan lañ doon ut.
Ñu ne dañoo seet ndax drogue dina fa nekk.
They said that they were trying to search whether there is drug there.
Ma ne bismillah.
And I welcome the idea.
Ñu saaj ma saaj bu métti nag.
They searched me thoroughly.
What do you mean by search bu métti? What do you mean by what you just said?
So ne saaj bu métti lañ la saaj nag loolu lu mu tekki.
Waa xam nga saaj mun naa am nga yurndu ron lal bi lifin tuuti ne waa baax na ñu ngee dem waaye ñii.
The search can be at a low level that you can peep under the bed and you say it's okay. But for these people,
suma lal bi.
My bed.
Matla bi dañ ko teg fële.
They turn upside down the mattress.
Ceiling bi.
The ceiling.
Dañ yéeg ca biir.
They climb up there.
Foo xelaat ne dinañ foog ne dara mun nañ ko fee denc rek tas nañ ko suma biir néeg.
Anywhere they think that they can hide something there, they have started.
Did they damage anything during that process?
Bi ñoo def loolu nag ndax yàqa nañ fa dara.
No, yàqaluñ ma dara. Ana tasaare rek.
Or didn't spoil anything, they scattered my things.
And what happened after this search?
Gannaaw buñ defee visite yooyu ba pare nag lu xew.
Biñ saajee ba pare lu mu 1 hour plus. Dara
they searched up to 1 hour plus.
Ñu ñaxatoo yëpp. Maa ngi taaw ak suma njaboot bi.
They were even sweating.
Ñu ne ma léegi nag.
They told me now. We didn't see anything, but
foog ñu àndaayo Banjul dañ la soxla.
We must go to our place in Banjul. We need you.
Ma ne Banjul time bi.
I said Banjul at this time of the night.
Ñu ne ma waaw.
And they said yes.
Na bismillah.
I welcome the idea
Ekatawela masol suma tube ak mbuba.
because it's a towel. I have to dress up my trouser and my shirt.
Suma jabara ngi taxaw di ma xol.
My wife was standing watching me.
Ak suma doom yi.
And my children.
Ñu jaaxle lool parce que musuñoo dégg sa police ne ma kaay fii waxuma.
They worried a lot because they have never had police calling me.
Ma bàyyi leen foofu ak seen jaaxle ak seen jooy ñu eb ma noonu yóbbu ma ba ci
I left them there with their worries and crying, and I go with them. I went with them outside.
Bi ma génnee laa gis moto yi rang.
When I went outside, that's the time I saw the vehicles parked by.
Ñu dugal ma ci benn seen pick-up yu rëy yi la ñu sandwich ma ci digga bi.
They put me in one of their pickups. They sandwiched me between each other.
ñu continuer dem Banjul.
And we continue to Banjul.
Were you handcuffed?
ndax dañ ceene woon nañ sa loxo yi.
Déedéet.
No.
waaye sandwich nañ ma rek ci digga bi nii.
But I was sandwiched in between two of them.
ñu dem ba Banjul.
We went up to Banjul.
Where in Banjul?
fan ci Banjul.
NIA.
At the NIA.
bañ duggee.
When we entered.
ñu dem ba ca biir.
We went up to inside.
néeg bi ñu fees nii.
The house that we faced.
The building we faced.
The building we faced.
néeg bi ñu fees waaw.
Yes.
ñu jaaree ca gannaaw.
We went behind.
soo wa ngi ci kanam.
So I was in front.
maa ngi ci toppa.
I'm at the back.
nitam yaa ngi ma toppa.
And I was followed by his people.
ñu jaar ca gannaaw.
We went through the back way.
yéeg ca kaw.
We went up.
bañ eegee ca kaw.
When we were up.
ñu fekkaat fa ñeneen ci NIA ay ñu takku tuuti.
We found others at the NIA who were little armed.
bi ma duggee foofu nag.
ñu takku tuuti. What do you mean by that?
ñu takku mooy ñu bëri.
Yeah, okay.
ñoo xam ne am nañ few people foofu.
Some few people there.
ñuñ fekk ci kaw.
That we met up there.
waaw ñooñu itam am nañu ma xam seen tur.
And some of those people I know their name.
I don't know their names.
xam naa seen tur ñenn ñi.
You know their names?
waaw.
Yes, please tell us.
ñi ci kaw foofu.
Those up there.
fekk naa fa ku ñëwaat Jim Dramé.
I found somebody called Jim Dramé.
Alaaji Mor Diop.
Alaaji Mor Diop.
Sukuta Sukuta Sambu.
Sukuta Sambu.
Is it Jamme or Sambu?
waa Bakaw bi ki gaañu. Sukuta Sambu.
Jamme, Sukuta Jamme.
something like waa Sukuta mooy turam.
Yes.
waaw.
Yes.
fekk naa fa ñooñu.
I found those people there.
fekk ak ñeneen daal xaw ma
Others
seen tur.
that I cannot remember their names.
And what was going on at the time you arrived?
waaw.
ba nga àggee jamono jooju lan moo doon xew noonu.
man ba maa dugga di àgga rek.
When I was there, when I was just entering.
fekk ñoom ñi jàppoon noonu la ñoom waa Bissau yooyu.
Those that they arrested before the Guinea-Bissaouian.
ñu ngi leen dóor a dóor ba ñu ngi leen jóor comme saaku gerte ñu ngi kona nii ci side.
They were beaten mercilessly and they were packed like groundnut, bags of groundnut.
ku ci ne ñu ngi la handcuff ci sa loxo bi fii.
Each and every one of them was handcuffed on the
boole ko ci sa tànk bi le.
with the leg,
jël bi.
with the other hand,
boole ko fii.
with the other leg.
ma agsi.
And when I arrived,
bi ma ñëwee ñi ma fa fekk ñu toog ñoom ñëpp ñu toog ni nit ñi di toogee nii.
those that I found,
waaw ñu ne ma yow yaa kan ma ne man maa diw.
they asked me, who are you? I told them I am.
ñu ne ma gis nga ñii.
They told me, you see these people?
ma ne waaw.
I said, yes.
ñu ne ma fii dëgg fee day dox de.
Here is only the truth. That
soo bañee mel ni ñii.
if you don't want to be like this,
wax ñuy lu leer.
tell us the truth.
ma ne bismillah.
And I welcome the idea.
Who told you that?
kan moo la ci wax loolu.
ki ma wax loolu.
The one who told me that one?
Alaaji Mor.
Alaaji Mor.
Diop.
Diop.
fekk ñoom ñu ngi taw.
What was he referring to?
li mu wax noonu lu mu tekki ci loolu.
waaw maanaam dóor yi ñu dóor ñi ak coono bi ma leen fekkee.
It means that the torture that was meted on those people and how I found them.
su ma bëggee mucc ci loolu.
If I want to be if I want to escape from those things,
nañ ma laaj rek ma ne waaw.
let them just ask me and I say yes.
Man noonu laa ko gisee.
That's how I saw things.
When you arrived, did the beating of those people stop completely, or did it continue afterwards?
Banga agge
in your presence?
door yiñ doon door ñooñu ndax dañ ko taxawal wala dañ continuer di leen door ci sa kanam.
Waaw bi ma àgga rek fekk yuuxu yu mujj yi laa tombee daal ak door yu mujj yi maa ngi ko dégg.
When I was just arriving, that was the last beatings and the last wailing of them. I was hearing.
Who was doing the beating?
Kan moo doon door?
Door yi am naa ne Alaaji Mor.
I know Alaaji Mor.
Ak Alaaji Mor.
Alaaji Mor.
Ni ma ko gisee fam taxawee moo xam naa ne mu ngi doon door.
The way I found him, the way he was standing, I knew that he was beaten.
Ak ñeneen ñu taxaw.
And others who were standing.
Who are those?
Ñan la?
Ñooñu nag seen tur téewuma ko.
Those people, I didn't know their name.
Xanaa ñi toog ak ñoom.
And only those who were sitting with them.
Waaw
who are those sitting with them?
Ñan ñoo toog ak ñoom?
Waaw mooy ñi ma fi waare Jim Dramé.
Yes, those that I mentioned just here, Jim Dramé. Sukuta.
Lamin Mane. Dembo Mbaye.
Mr. Witness, you told us earlier that those who came to arrest you included Lamin Mane and Dembo Mbaye.
Seede bi wax nga ñu ci gannaaw ne ñi ñëwoon pour arrest la Lamin Mane ak Dembo Mbaye bokk nañ ci.
Waaw ñu ma jël si Lamin Mane sax moo leen woon kër gi.
Yes, those that arrested me.
Parce que waa Birkama la.
He's the one even who showed them to my house because he's a native of Birkama.
So when you arrived at NIA headquarters, Lamin Mane could not have been among those sitting at the table.
But
Lamin Mane, yes, he could not have been among those seated at the table.
Bon banga agé NIA bon Lamin Mane du doon mëna bokk ci ñi nga xam ne ñoo toog foofu ci table bi.
No, Lamin ñoo ànda mook groupe bi Sow bi.
No, Lamin we were together with Sow's group. We
lima bëggoon a
together.
wax foofu lima miin mooy ñi fekkee yëf yi ci kaw laa bëggoon a wax ñi toog.
What I wanted to say is those who
Lamin
witnessed.
mook Sow ñoo ànda si suma kër te ñoo ànda dem ñoo éegandoor tam.
What I wanted to say there is those who were with the same, who witnessed what happened. But Lamin and the others, we were together, we came together.
Can you tell us which NIA officers were present when these Bissau Guineans were being beaten?
Ndax di nga mëna wax ñan liggéeykat yi NIA ñoo teewoon jamono ji nga xam ne ñu ngi doon dóor waa Guinée Bissau yooyu.
Waaw.
Yes.
Please tell us.
Wax ñu.
ñi ma fekk ñi ci kaw foofu bi ñooy dóor mooy Jim Dramé.
Those that I found up there, when the time they were beating them, it was Jim Dramé.
Alaaji Mor. Ak
And I'm forgetting.
Waaye Jim Dramé mu nga fa toog.
But Jim Dramé was there sitting.
Sukuta mi lee nga fa toog ñi ma dut
Sukuta was
fàtte
there.
at all.
That whom I will never forget.
Biñ éegee ñoon lañ fekk ñu to waaye bëri na ëpp nañ ko nag. Waaye ñi ci des nag wax dëgg fàtte naa seen tur.
There were many, but others, I forgot their names.
Earlier on, you mentioned Alaaji Mor, correct?
Ci gannaaw tuddoon nga fi Alaaji Mor du noonu.
Jim Dramé.
Jim Dramé.
Sukuta Jammeh.
Wow, correct. Sukuta Sambo or Jammeh.
Sukuta Sambo or Jammeh.
Yes. And then you mentioned, okay. But let me ask you, Lamin Dabo, was he present when these people were still being beaten as you arrived?
Xaaral ma laaj la ndax Lamin Dabo mu ngi teewoon fekk ñu ngi doon dóor ba léegi ñooñu jamono jooju bi nga dugg si.
Waaw nga biñ duggee sax ak ñoom.
You know, when we just entered with them,
Lamin moom bam duggee rek moom dafa attaquaat ñi sax.
Lamin, when he just entered, he attacked these people again.
And what do you mean by that? He attacked these people?
Wow,
Those who were lying, crying, and with coughs. He was just handling another thing like a wire, threatening to beat them again if they don't stop the wailing and the crying.
Did you see him hit anybody?
No.
In your statement,
you
said those whom I saw doing the actual beating. Where? Lamin Dabo, Alaji Moore. Others were surrounding the victims as the beating was going on. That's what you said in your statement. Is that true or that's not true?
Lamin Dabo and More, they were the one.
Lamin Dabo, Alaji Moore.
Lamin Dabo and Alaji Moore.
Wow.
Yes.
Did you see Lamin Dabo beat anybody?
Lamin Dabo, gis nga mu door ken?
No, gisuma mo xati door de. Waye tie na fil.
No, I didn't see him beating, but he was handling a wire.
Tim guy.
And he was threatening.
Di len won ne li ngeen def ni nopi len ngeen stop ko mbama doli len.
And he was terrifying them that they should stop the crying or he continue beating.
Bala ñu ñew ci suma affaire man.
Before they come to my problems.
Def na lolu.
He did that.
Why Alaji Moore?
But for Alaji Moore.
Mok Lamin Dabo.
And Lamin Dabo.
Man xamna after ne ñom ñoy door kat yi fofu.
Later I came to realize that they were the one who beat people.
But how do you know that?
Naka nga xamé lolu?
Waaw moy ba suma ton joté man.
Yes, that's the time when my turn was.
Okay, so you arrived and okay, let's clarify this. So when you said in your statement that those whom I saw doing the actual beating were Lamin Dabo and Alaji Moore, you did not in fact see Lamin Dabo beat anybody, but you saw him only threatening to beat.
Wa legi yow ci sa kàddu yi ñu bindani da fa wax ne ñi nga gis ñu doon door Lamin Dabo ak Alaji Moore waaye fi mu nekk wone nga ne Lamin Dabo daf doon xuppe rek waaye gisuloo mu xàcc door.
Waaw bi nga xam ne door nañ ba paak ñu léegi ci seel yi.
After that when
before we get to that, we want to know who were the actual torturers at the NIA and who did what. That's what we want to know. But when you arrived, you said beatings were still going on. Is that the case?
Wax nga ne yow ba nga àggee yaa ngi gis ñu ngi continuer di door ba léegi noonu la demee.
Yes, to those Bisawian.
Okay. Who was actually doing the beating?
Ñan ñoo doon def door.
Kan moo doon door waxtu boobu kan ñoo doon door.
Waaw mooy li ma wax rek bi ma yéeg.
That was the time when we were going up.
Booba bàyyeeguñ door yi parce que maa ngi dégg caw yi.
They were still beating and people were wailing.
Waaye bi ñu àggee maa ngi ma escort ba ci kaw.
But when we went there, me and those who escorted me,
bi ñooy àgg rek dañ bàyyi door yi.
When we just arrived, they stopped the beating.
Waaye ñu ma taxaw ñu li tax ma mun a xam sax ne kii mooy door wala ma foog ko booba ñi taxaw team guy.
The way I knew that these were the one beating, or I know that they were one beating, is
Alaji Moore moom bosam leer na ma mu ngi taxaw téye fiilam gi.
Alaji Moore one is so clear to me because he was handling the whips.
Ak ñeneen.
And others.
Waaye Lamin Dabo.
But for Lamin Dabo,
bi nga xamee ne ni dem nañ ba pare ci dóor yi.
When we know that when they are done with the beatings.
Li tax ma xam ne ci dóor yi la ci dóorkat yi la.
How I knew that he is part of those who used to beat.
Dafa am kuñ ci dóor ba ngeen baal ma mu laal kanamam gi.
There was somebody whom you beat until he touched his private part.
Bu metti sax.
Very painful one.
kooku doon nettali ne kii mooma du fiilam bi mooma xar ni mooma
was the one who was narrating that is this person who hit me here.
muy Lamin Dabo.
And that was Lamin Dabo.
We have to get clarity here.
dañ bëgg a leeral mbir yi fii.
You said this was explained to you.
nga ne lii dañ la ko waxal dañ la ko xamal.
When were you told that?
kañ lañ la ko wax.
moo biñ paree dóori ci guddi googu dañu paak ci sel.
That was the time when we are done with the beating. We were packed in the cells.
Who were those Bissau Guineans who were beaten?
ñan ñooy waa Guinée Bissau yooyu ñu doon dóor.
ñooñu foofu laa leen gisee fa laa leen xamee waaye xamoon naa seen tur nag.
Those people, I met them there. That's where I knew them. I knew their names, but it's a long time now.
Please tell us.
Kenn ki mu ngi tudd Fernando Ko.
One of them is called Fernando.
Fernando Ko.
Fernando
Ko.
Ngansumana Fati.
And Ngansumana Fati.
Ak kii Dramé naka. Kenn ki tam Dramé la sant de.
The other one's surname is Dramé.
When you arrived, did you find a Gambian amongst the lot?
ba nga eggee ndax gis nga fa ko xam ne waa Gambia la.
Kenn rek laa fa gis.
There's only one who was a Gambian.
Who's that?
Mooy Tijan.
That was Tijan.
Tijan who?
Tijan Dur. Mooy the only Gambian foofu.
Tijan Dur
Were
was the only
all of
Gambian.
them beaten?
ñoom ñëpp ñu ngi leen doon dóor.
Bu baax a baax.
Mercilessly.
So when you arrived and the beating stopped, you said you saw Alaji Moore with a whip. And then later Alaji Moore told you, according to what you said, that you see what happened to these people. If you don't want to be like them, you have to talk. That is what you told the commission, correct?
nga ne ba nga àggee gis nga Alaaji Moor mu ngi téye yar mu dal di la gestu yow ci sa bopp ne la gis nga boo bañee mel ni ñi mel nii bon foog nga wax loolu la.
Waaw.
What happened after that?
lu xew gannaaw boobu.
Waaw man tam ñu ne ma jógal.
I was also told to get up.
Ma jóg taxaw.
I stand up.
ñu ne ma sumil sa mbuba mi.
I was asked to undress my shirt.
Yes, to take off my shirt.
Ma sumi mbuba mi.
I took off my shirt.
Ma taxaw ñu ne ma génneel tubéy ji.
I stood up. They asked me also to take off my trouser.
Ma sumi tubéy ji.
I did so.
Who told you that?
ku la wax loolu.
Ma Jim Dramé o Alaaji Moor kenn ci ñoom la.
Either Jim Dramé or Alaaji Moor is one of them.
ñoo ma doon wax ma futteeku.
They were the one who asked me to undress.
At this time, where was Sow?
jamono jooju ana Sow.
Sow a ngi toog.
Sow was sitting.
Mu ngi toog.
He was sitting.
It means, therefore, at this time, you had Alaji Moore present, Lamin Dabo present, Jim Drame present, Usman Sow present, Sukuta Jame present, Lamin Mane, and Dembo Mbaye.
Very good.
bon mu ngi mel ni ñim lim nii ñépp jamono ji yëpp ñu nga fa woon.
ñépp a ngi toog ci état bi nii.
Yes, they were all sitting there.
Did any one of them object to you being asked to strip yourself?
ndax ñoom am na ci kenn koo xam ne àndut ci liñ la wax ne nga summeeku.
xanaa di ma yàkkamtiloo gaawal undress summeekul gaawal.
They were making me to be very fast, and they were asking me to do it quickly, to undress.
noonu laa summeeku.
That's how I undressed.
Tell this commission, without sugarcoating it, tell us how you appeared, how you looked, standing there before them. Did you have anything on you?
wax ñu ci kanam commission bi te bu ci am dara loo ci rafetal nag ndax di nga taxaw da nga taxawee da nga summeeku ba set wecc ñi la sa nay juree.
Yes.
morso maa ngi amoon benn lifin bu ma takka fii sax comme diggalu métti suñ benn waay si la moo ko dee defar biir kaama.
I was wearing tying one small cloth
Did you?
of.
boobu sax dañ ko dog
That one was even cut off.
pour ma mën a leer ne dama war a mel ni ma suma yaay juree sagar
So that
bu
I'll
ci
be
topp,
completely
waxuma
naked.
dross.
No
Nothing.
underwear. Nothing.
waaw
Yes.
So in a sense, you were forced to strip yourself completely naked. You were forced into nudity before this group.
bon mu ngi mel ni yow dañ la forcer pour nga futteeku ba set wecc ni la sa ndey juree ci kanami mbooloo moomu.
noonu lañ ma def de
That's how
futti
I
ma
was
ba ma set wecc
completely naked.
te ñi ma futti ñoo ñëpp maa leen mag
And those who make me to be completely naked,
ñu ne
I'm
ma
far older than them.
demal ci digga bi fële
They asked me to go to the center.
ñoo xam nga dañ laa wóor nii ñu bàyyi ci digga bi soo ci
Usually
digga bi
surround you, and you are in the center.
ma dem ba ci digga bi ñu ne ma jonkonal
I went up to the center. They asked me to squat.
Did anybody object at any point in time?
am na ci benn jamono joo xam ne am na ku ci dugal gémmiñam daal ne àndul ci lu doon dox.
déedéet
No.
As far as you know, would you say that Alhaji Moore participated in forcing you into nudity?
ci yow ni nga ko xamee ndax mun ngaa wax ne Alaaji Mor tam bokk na ci ñi la doon forcer pour nga summee ko ba set.
waaw
Yes.
How about Lamin Dabo?
naka Lamin Daabo.
waaw
Yes.
How about Jim Drame?
Jim Dramé nag.
ji ma ngi taxaw nii ci toog ci toogom bi nii di leen xool ñu di ma summi
Jim was sitting on his chair, watching me being naked.
Usman Sow?
Ousmane Sow itam a ngi toog ci toogom nii di ma xool
Usman Sow was also sitting, watching me being stripped off.
Sukuta Jame?
mu ngi toog
He was sitting.
Lamin Bay and Dembo Bay?
ñëpp a ngi toog
They were all seated.
So your testimony is that all these people were complicit in forcing you into nudity.
bon yow li nga wax ni mooy ne ñii nga lim ni ñépp bon bokka nañ ci ñi nga xam ne ñoo la doon forcer pour nga futteeku ba set.
waaw ñoom la woon
Yes, they were the one.
What happened after that?
gannaaw loolu lu xew.
waaw biñ ma futtee ba pare
Yes, when I was undressed, nakedly,
ba léegi dama dem jonkoon pour ñu ñëw handcuff ma
and I went to the center and squat down for them to handcuffed,
because duñ la dóor te handcuffuñ la
because you were never beaten and you were not uncuffed.
même ñiñ dóor ba pare seen handcuff yaa ngi ci seen loxo yi
Even those who were already beaten, they were all still with cuff.
waaye bi ma demee ba jonkoon nag futteeku set wecc
But when I squatted nakedly,
foofu yàlla ñëw ak ndimbalam
it's only God that came there with his help.
li ma rëccal du ñoom du man yàlla la
What escaped me is not them, it's not myself, it's only God.
because ki ma wax ne dañ ko laal ci kanamam gi
Because the one whom I said that he was touched at his private part,
kooku kanamam gi niñ ko laalee boo ko gisee foog naa ne dafa bëggoon a dog I don't know
it was nearly cut off completely.
kooku yu xoom yeeg mañoeram bi biñ ko gisee ñoom
That man, the way he was dismannered and the way he was crying when they saw him,
boobu daf leen tiital tuuti
it was so terrifying to them.
ñoom ñëpp ñu jublu ci kooku di seet lana ko dal ak lana ko war a dal
They were all focused on what happened to that man.
biñ nekkee di seet kooku
When they were focused on that man,
maa ngi jonkoon fi ma jonkoon de
I was still squatting.
noonu laa jógee
That's how I got up.
ñëwaat ci suma yére yi
I came back to my dresses
di sol benn benn
and I put them on one by one.
ñoom gisuñ xoolatuñ ma sax
They were not even focusing on me.
fàtte nañ ma wala seen xel dem na ci kii parce que booba situation am tiital na ñëpp
Maybe they have forgotten me or their mind is all on that man because it was so terrifying.
ma nit ma wàkkilu rek jóg sol suma yére yi
I just got up and put on my dress.
bi ma ko solee
When I was done,
am toogu bu ne nii suma boor
there was a seat near me.
ma toog
I seated
di leen xool
and I was watching them.
ñu nekk ci toppatoo ñooñu ba fàtte ma
They were focused on those people and until they forget about me.
What do you mean by what you just said? You nekka ci kooku di ko toppatoo ba fàtte ma. What kind of toppatoo are we talking about here? What kind of assistance were they giving to these people?
Lolu
The extent that they forgot about you.
Lum teki so waxe ne dañ jublu won ci koku be yow sax ñu faté sa mbir lan façon ngi ndimbal wala lan façon ngi topato lan jom topato koku
topato bi du jox ko garab du jox ko dara wa xam nga boba ñu ko handcuff.
It was not about giving him medication or not, but because he was on cuff.
A serious handcuff because bi la ñu bolé sa tanka bi.
Serious handcuff because they put the hand and the leg together.
ñu jël bi tam bolé ko bi.
They put the other leg and the hands together.
Waaw su ko defé nak mom comme door nañ ko mu tollok kanamam nonu bem am lu accident bu metti bobu.
Until he was beaten until it touches his private part to that level.
ñu dem di dindi handcuff yi.
So they went there to lose the handcuffs.
ñi di seet gaañu gaañoom.
Those concentrated on how he was wounded on his private part.
mu jagi seen xel yépp dem ci kooku.
Then their mind was all focused on that person.
Yàlla sutura ma man.
And I was helped by God.
ma wàkkilu rek jóg sol suma yére yi toog.
I just got up and dressed up and sit.
nii laa muccee ci seen dóor.
That's how I escaped from their beatings.
What happened afterwards? After they finished with this group who were beaten, after they finished assisting them or checking them, what happened? What did they do?
bañ paré nak ci sét mbolo momu nonu buñ len sété ba paré jublu ci ñom lan lañ defaat.
Waaw booba biñ ko sété ba paré.
When they were done with them,
lañ génné handcuff yi ci ñëpp.
That's the time they took off all the handcuffs from all of them.
So ñu ne nañ leen yóbbu ci cell bi.
So they said that let them take them to the cells.
biñ leen a yóbbu ci cell bi.
When they were taking them to the cells,
bañ jógee.
when they got up,
man it ma jóg.
and I also got up.
ñu boole ñu ñun ñëpp yóbbu.
They were all together. They put us together.
Did anybody say anything to you at that point in time?
Am na kenn ku la ci wax dara jamono boobu.
Déedéet. No. Kay moom yàlla ma muur sànga rek.
Then it's only the help of God.
dañ jóg rek ma toppa ci nii.
They just got up and I followed them.
waxuñ ma dellu dañ la war a dóor.
They didn't tell me, go back, we have to beat you.
te kenn dóoruma.
And nobody beat me.
waaye yàlla moo ma muccal du ñoom de.
But it's only God who protected me, but not him.
waaw.
Yes.
ñu buub ñu yóbbu ñu ci seel bi.
And we were all taken to the cells.
ñun ñëpp ci seel bi la ñu yóbbu ñu.
All of us
But
to the
before
cells.
all this, were you asked any questions about these people?
Bala loolu yépp ndax am na dara luñ la laaj ci mbiri ñooñu.
waaw biñ njëkkee àgga rek ñoom dañ ne ñii ndax xam ngeen kii.
Yes, when we just arrived, they asked them whether they knew me.
ñooñu ne leen ñun xamuñ kii de.
And they told them that we don't know this man.
mus ngeen koo gis.
Have you ever seen him?
ñu ne déedéet.
They said no.
ñun laaj ma di ndax xam nga ñii ma ne leen déedéet.
I was also asked whether I knew those people.
mus
I
ngaa
said
gis
no.
ñii.
Have I ever seen them before?
ma ne tey léegi.
I told them now. It's only
musuma
now.
leen a gis.
I have never seen them before.
waaw.
At what stage was this? Was it before Alhaji Moore told you that here you have seen what has happened to these people, you have to talk, or was it afterwards?
Ban jamono lañ la doon laajte yooyu gannaaw bu la Alaaji Moor waxee ne gis nga nii niñ mel soo bañee mel ni foog nga wax wala balaam la koo wax.
waaw mooy bi ma waxee loolu ba pare ne ma gis nga ñii.
That was the time he told me that, have you seen these people?
ma ne ko waaw mu ne
And I
ma
said yes.
waaw boo bañee mel ni ne waxal dëgg.
If you don't want to be like this, just tell the truth.
ki la ne ñooñu xam ngeen kii.
That's the time he asked them whether they knew this man, which
ñu
is
ne
me.
déedéet.
They said no.
mus ngeen koo gis.
Have you ever seen him?
ñu ne déedéet.
They said no.
mu toon ne ma xam nga ñii.
He turned to me and asked me whether I knew
ma
these
ne
people.
musuma leen a xam.
I said that I never knew them before.
mus nga leen a gis.
Have you ever seen them before?
ma ne fii laa leen gisee léegi fi ma
Only here that
taxaw.
I have seen them here.
waaw loolu leeroon na leen nañ.
And that was so clear to them.
ne xaw ma ñii musuma leen a gis.
I have never seen these people. I have never known them before.
noonu la demee parce que alxuraan laa téye waat fii.
That's how it was because I already swear with the
musuma
Lord.
leen a teg bët.
I have never seen them.
musuma leen a xam.
I have never known them before.
At this stage, have you, apart from that particular question, were you asked about anything relating to this particular issue?
jamono boobu nag gannaaw laajte boobu ñu la laaj ndax laajaat nañ la leneen lu aju ci xew-xew boobu.
ndax balaa waxtu boobu laajoon nañ la leneen lu aju ci yëfi wëggaa yooyu ak yëfi drogue boobu.
waaw laajoon nañ ma.
Yes, I was asked.
lu tax drug squad yi yëg lii.
Why did the drug squad be informed about this?
ma ne la ñu ne ma yow yaa leen inform ne lii mu ngi xew.
You were the one who informed them that this thing is happening.
ma ne waaw.
I said yes.
ñu ne ma lu tax.
They asked why.
ma ne dama foog ne war naa def loolu rek su ma déggee lu mel nii.
Yes, I said yes. I think that I should have done that when I heard about this.
wala ma gis ko.
Or I saw it.
man awma doole dem fa de.
I didn't have the power to go there.
waaye foog naa am naa doole boole leen.
But I think I have the right to report.
At what stage did you say this to them?
ban jamono nga leen wax lii kàddu yi.
mooy biñ ma laaj biñ demee ca NIA ci NIA balaañ maa sumi kay.
That was the time before I was stripped off at the NIA.
pour li tax ñu di ma sumi war maa def loolu.
The reason why they should strip me off.
liñ ma won foofu mooy boole leen ak drug squad yi suma interest la.
What they showed me that is informing this incident to the drug squad, it was my interest.
ma ne leen awma ci benn interest lu ñu génnee leen foofu rek.
I told them that I had no interest. It's just to make sure that they are out of that place.
So it means, therefore, that before you were asked to strip, you were interrogated for some time.
Bon mu ngi mel ni balaa ñu laa laaj pour nga summeeku ni la sa ndey juree am na ay laajte yoo xam ne njëkkoon nañ la koo laaj balaa loolu.
waaw laaj bi guddut mooy loolu rek. lan moo tax nga report lii ci NIA lifi ni drug squad yi.
The interrogation was not that much lengthy. It's only why I reported the matter to the NIA, to the drug squad rather.
Who participated in that interrogation? Who asked questions?
ñan ñoo la doon laaj jamono boobu.
waaw booba Jim Dramé.
Then Jim Dramé.
ak Sow ci boppam.
And Sow himself.
Alhaji Mor.
Alhaji Mor.
am na sax yeneen jigéen ñu fa nekk jigéen ñu fa liggéey.
And there were some female officers who were there.
Were those female officers present when you were stripped naked?
ñoom jigéen ñooñu nga xam ne ñu ngi fa woon ndax ñu ngi teewoon biñ laa summi.
déedéet ñoom teewoon ci summeekaay bi.
No, they were not present when I was stripped off.
waaye ñu ngi ci order lifin office bi nii.
But they were in the other offices.
waaw waaye ci lifin bi nekk di dóoree ka summi nit ñi jigéen nekku fa.
The place where they strip people and do the beatings, there was no female officers.
Your interrogation, was it in a different room or in the same place?
biñ laa laaj noonu daf ci beneen néeg lañ la yóbbu wala ci benn place bi.
am na fa place boo xam ne nii foofu foog naa benn table lañ fa am nii rek. ci
There's a place there where I think it's only one table that they have there.
def toogu yi ñu rang ko nii.
And it was surrounded with chairs.
foofu lañ toog.
That's where we seated.
ne ma lu tax nga boole lii ci naka ci drug squad yi lu tax nga joxe information bi.
And asked me why I relayed the information to the drug squad.
fa jigéen nekku fa ñoom rek a fa nekk.
That place there were no female officer.
ñu ne ma dang ci am interest.
And I was told that I had an interest in it.
ma ne awma ci benn interest dama leen boole rek pour du dee drogue la dëgg ñu génnee leen fi.
And I told them that I have no interest. If at all it is drug, let them be taken out of there.
man duma ko mun ñi ko war a mun laa ko wax pour ñu def ko.
As far as I didn't have the power to do that,
After that, were you taken elsewhere?
gannaaw loolu yóbbuwaat nañ la feneen.
waaw pour laajte.
Yes, for questioning.
non.
No.
foofu kay biñ fa jógee.
That place when we are out of there.
dañ génnee ceen yi ci ñi dóor ni bañ tëdd ci suuf.
They just loosed and took off the handcuffs from those who were
boole maag
there.
ñu ñëpp yóbbu ci kaso ci cell bi.
And we are all taken to the cells.
Which cell was that?
ban cell la ci woon.
am nga ñaari cell a fa nekk.
There were 2 cells.
boo duggee.
If you just entered.
From the reception yaa ngee dem ci biir.
From the reception going in.
sa left.
On your left.
foofu defe naa mooy Bamba Dinka.
That place, I think that is Bamba Dinka.
sa right ni ci boori néeg bu mag bi.
On your right near the big building.
ñu ngi fa am cell.
There is a cell there.
Cell bu em rek.
Just a medium cell.
yoo xam ne ay carton yi kese lañ fa sànni.
Whereas you only have curtains there.
Only carton ay dogit carton.
Some pieces of curtains that were there.
wala ñu yóbbu ñun dugal ñu suñ first night.
That's where we were taking our first night.
wala ñu denc for 28 days.
That's where we were kept for 28 days.
Which one? The one at Bambadinka or the other one?
The other one.
The other one.
Boy duga.
When you are entering.
Sunday joor.
On your right hand side.
And how many of you were put there?
Yen ñaata lañ fa dugal?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. ñun juróom benn nit.
We were 6 in number.
Call out the names.
Tudal seen tur yi.
Man.
Myself.
Lanka. Lamin Sima. Fernando Ko. Ansumana Fati.
And
the Dabo Villa de Fati to Tramway.
I forgot this Dabo.
Karamo Dabo. Wow.
Yes.
And how about Lamindur?
Naka Lamindur.
Tijandur.
Wow.
Tijandur. Correct.
ñun ñi ñoo nekk ci cell bu ndaw boobu.
We were the one who were in that small cell.
On the first night, was Lanka present?
Ca guddi gu njëkk ga Lanka mu ngi fa woon.
Déedéet.
No.
Lanka means Lamin Kab. So the first night it was you, Babukar Cham, Lamin Sima, Fernando Ko, Ngansumana Fati, Karamo Drame, and Tijandur.
Wow.
Yes.
Bon guddi gu njëkk gi ñi mu lim nii daal ñoo fa nekkoon yow.
Exactly.
You said whilst you were in the cell, you had a conversation with one of the detainees, and he told you something about his injuries.
Nga ne jamono ji nga nekkee ci cell bi nag am na ci kenn ko fa nekkandooroon wax nga moom te mu wax la mbiri ay gaañu gaañoom.
Wow.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Mooy Ngansumana Fati.
That was Ngansumana Fati.
Ci cell bi keroog ñu nelawuñ.
In that cell on that night we didn't sleep.
Dafa jooy ba bër set.
He was crying all night.
Did he say why he was crying?
Wax na la lu tax mu doon jooy.
Waaw because dañ ko dóor ci kanamam bi.
Yes, because he was beaten on his private part.
Did he say who did that?
Wax na la kana ko def.
Mu ne Lamin Dabo.
Yes, he said Lamin Darbo.
Fekkee moo ko de waaye moo ko wax ci cell bi.
I was not there, but he told me that in the cell.
Wow.
Yes.
And what exactly did he say to you?
Lan la wax ne moo
mu ne ko doon dóor xam nga comme niñ ko ceenee nii muy moytu nii.
Yes, that's what he told me, that the way he was cuffed and he was beaten, the way he was trying to protect himself.
Bi kooku xàccee di dóor fekk mu ngee toon.
The time he was about to beat and he was turning.
Loolu tombee kanamam gi.
And it hit his private part.
Yeah, definitely te gis naa ko tam gis naa kanamam gi.
And I saw how it is on his private part.
Fii daj na fi lu mburu du daj ci furiñ ba ci fuur.
And I know that he was beaten mercilessly there.
Because dafa xar completely nii.
Because his private part was completely teared.
Did the NIA officers did they see the injury?
Waa NIA ñoom gisoon nañ gaañu boobu.
Waaw gis nañ ko parce que moo tax ñu yàgg fa am for 28 days.
Yes, they saw it. That's why we were so long there for 28 days.
Biñ gisee yooyu.
When they saw those things,
nangu ñu hand over.
They didn't want us to be handed over.
Dañ leen dee jël suba teel.
We were picked in the morning.
Gaare moto dem ci seen own doctor ci corner bi foofu.
They pick them on their vehicle and take them to their own doctor there at the corner.
ñu dress leen.
And they were dressed.
Laal leen garab.
And applied little medication.
ñu wóññeeku ñoo fekk ma ci biir.
And they returned back and found me there.
That's every day.
That's every day.
While you were there, were you charged with an offense?
Jamono bi nga fa nekkee noonu tuumaal nañ la dara ne loolu nga def.
Waaw man am na luñ ma tuumaal dañu ne.
Yes, I was charged for something.
I was accused.
Accused of something.
waaw biñ ma charge ñu ne conspiracy lañ ma charge.
I was charged on conspiracy.
At what stage were you charged with conspiracy?
ban jamono lañ la tuumaal loolu.
mooy biñ nekkee ci NIA bi ci balaa ñu ñoo génne foofu.
That was the time we were at the NIA before we were moved from there.
Sukuta Sambu moo doon seen OC bi daan lifin naka lifin nit ñi naka jël cases yi daal.
Sukuta Sambu was their OC then, who were taking the cases.
Sukuta Sambu or Sukuta Jame?
Jame or sorry, Jame.
Sukuta Jame.
All right. So, but you were ultimately charged with an offense. During your time at the NIA, were you allowed to see a lawyer?
jamono bi nga nekk NIA ndax nanguloon nañ la nga gis lawyer bu la teewal.
No.
No.
Okay, let me ask you this question. If Lamin Dabo says to you that he's never seen somebody being tortured at the NIA and that he has never participated in torture, what would you say to that?
léegi xaaral ma laaj la bu Lamin Dabo waxee ne moom day musuta gis koo xam ne toroxal nañ la foofu ca NIA te moom musuta bokk sax ci ñi nga xam ne ñoo di toroxal wala di métital ay nit foofu loolu loo cee wax.
waxuma Lamin sax em ci waaye ñi ma tudda fii nii seen tur ba pare nii.
I didn't say only Lamin, but all those I mentioned their names here.
Goma kenn ci ñoom dina ñeme ma taxaw mu ne musuta fekkee fu ñooy dóoree.
I didn't believe that any of them will stand with me and say that he has never witnessed somebody being beaten at the NIA.
Kenn du ko ci ñeme.
None of them did that.
How about Sow?
Naka Sow?
Usman Sow?
Sow ci boppam.
Sow himself.
Ko dalee ci Sow ba ci suuf.
From Sow up, down.
Gisuma fu mu dóoree de.
I had never seen him beaten.
Musun maa dóor.
And he has never beaten me.
waaye toog nii.
But
moom mu toog.
And he sit.
di seetaan xew-xew yile.
And was watching what was going on.
du ko weddi de.
He will never deny it.
No.
No.
What if he denies it? What would you say to that?
bu fekkee ne weddi na ko nag looy wax ci loolu.
lu da waxul dëgg dafa fen.
I will tell him that you are lying.
waaw.
How about Jim Drame?
Jim Drame nag.
If he says that?
Jim tam the same.
Jim the same.
What do you mean by the same?
moom itam ñemewut a weddi ne.
He also, they are not to
seen office boobu la fa ñooy dóoree ñoom ñoo dee toog.
deny that in their office, when they were beaten, they were sitting.
Jim dóorut ma.
Jim has never beaten me.
fekk gisuma muy dóore.
I've never seen him beating somebody
ay
else.
xëcca toogam toog nii ñuy dóore.
But seated and watch somebody being beaten,
loolu gis naa ko.
that one I have seen it.
waaw loolu moom moo xew ci kanamam.
That one, he witnessed it.
waaw mooy Sow muy Jim Dramé muy Lamin ñoom ñëpp.
Either saw Jim Drame or any of them.
You have mentioned several Lamins.
Lamin yu bari nga fi tudda.
Lamin Mane amongst them and Lamin Dabo.
Lamin Mane ak Lamin Dabo bokk nañ ci ñooñu.
ñoom ñëpp.
All of them.
dañooy teewee parce que keroog ñoom ñëpp a nekk ci kaw.
They witnessed.
waaw.
On that day, they were all up there.
ngi janoog yëpp gis toroxaange geeg coono bi nit ñi nekkee.
They were all watching the torture.
ñu ngi tëdd di xalangu deret jànge ñu ngi gaañu fu nekk ndek fii lii le.
Those that were beaten with whips.
loolu yëpp ñu ngi leen ceene ñu ngi tëdd.
They were wounded and with cough.
gaañu mu nga sumaana boobu laal kanamam gi.
And Ngansumana, the way he was wounded on his private part.
booboo leen tiital sax bañ génne teel a génne handcuff yi.
That's what terrified them until they removed the handcuff.
dal di leen paak noonu ñun ñëpp ñu ma bokk ci ñu dem ci sel bi.
We are all escorted to the cells.
Can you clarify something for the commission?
Di nga mën a leeral dara fii ci kanam commission bi.
Ngansumana said to you in the cell that injury was inflicted to him or on him by Lamin
Dabo.
Mun nga leeral ne Ngansumana wax na la ne gaañu boobu ñu ko gaañ ci awraam bi ci kanamam gi Lamin Dabo moo ko teg.
Wow.
But
Yes.
you were not present when Lamin Dabo inflicted that injury on him.
waaye na wax nga ne day teewuloo woon ba ko ko Lamin Dabo di def.
No fekkewuma ko.
No, I was not there.
Ay mo ki gaañu moo ko wax.
But he himself told me.
Wouldn't that suggest to you, therefore, that they were also tortured even before you arrived there with Lamin Dabo and others?
ndax loolu du mun a firndeel ne nag bon ñu ngi leen doon bugal foofu noonu sax balaa yow nga faa egg yow yaa Lamin Dabo ak ñeneen ñi.
Exactly noonu la demee ñooñu dañ leen doon dóor.
That's how it
balaa
was.
maa jël si man.
Those people were beaten before they came for me.
So eventually, after 28 days, you were charged with an offense. And then what happened afterwards? Let's do this part very quickly.
gannaaw boo fa nekkee diiri ñaar fukki fan ak juróom ñett nag ci lañ la dal di charge nag lu gannaaw boobu lan moo xew.
waaw ci la ñu yóbbu Banjul police station.
That's where the time they took us to the Banjul police station.
pour hand over ñu foofu.
To hand over us to the police.
Wana booba Yankuba moo doon IG.
Then I think Yankuba was the IGP.
Yankuba who?
Ki nekk minister nii léegi.
The one who is now a minister.
Yankuba Sonko?
Sonko.
Bi loolu xewee moom laaj na leen sax foofu ne leen comme drogue case la ana drogue bi.
He himself asked them there, as far as it's a drug case, where are the drugs?
waaye booba ñoom yóbbuwuñ dara.
But that time they didn't go there with anything.
ñu fexe rek comme ñoo amee doole ba domp ñu foofu rek.
They just maneuvered until we were dumped there.
ñu yóbbu ñu ci cell bi Banjul police foofu.
We were taken to the cells at the Banjul police station.
ñu fanaan fa.
We spent the night there.
endu fa ca ëllëg sa.
And we also continued the day there.
fanaanaat beneen guddi.
We spent the night again.
ba ca gannaaw ëllëg sa.
Until the following day.
ñu yóbbu ñu courthouse.
We were taken to the courthouse.
Banjul Magistrate Court.
Banjul Magistrate Court.
Was this the first time you were taken to court by them?
boobu mooy njël benn yoon ñu di leen yóbbu ci court bi.
Throughout my life sax boobu force.
Even throughout my life, that was my first time entering to a courthouse.
So because ñu yóbbu foofu.
When we were taken there.
Courtuñ sax daanaka magistrate bi remind ñu.
The court was not even hold. The magistrate reminded us.
Foofu la ñu piqué nag yóbbu ñu remind.
That's where they picked us and took us to the remand.
léegi ñu remind ñu foofu for 2 weeks.
We were remanded there for 2 weeks.
ñu soog a start court bi at Birkama.
That's the time we started the court at Birkama.
Birkama nag court bi biñ ko fa defee benn yoon.
Birkama, when they started the court there.
Comme wax li fa ñëw ci nit.
Those who present there.
ak manière yi fa nit ñi def.
And the way they were, the manners.
Magistrate bi.
No. The number of people who came, who attended that trial, that proceedings, and the way they behaved.
And the way they behaved.
Very good. Moo tax magistrate bi ne.
That's the reason why the magistrate said.
nañ ko transfer Banjul High Court.
Let it be transferred to the Banjul High Court.
Let the matter be transferred to the Banjul High Court.
Exactly. So you transfer ñu Banjul High Court.
That's how we were transferred to the Banjul High Court.
And then what happened after that?
When we went there,
ñu am bail.
We were granted bail.
Man maa njëkk am bail sax.
I was the first to be granted bail.
Then man maag Lanka.
Then me and Lanka.
Then mu des Bissau yi.
And it was left with the Bissawian.
ñoom ñu nekk foofu.
They were there.
Be lu mu war a mut 1 month dañ ñëw court ñëwati court 2 times.
Almost to 1 month for the second time in the court proceedings.
ñoom it ñu am bail.
They were also granted bail.
At what stage did Lanka join your group?
Ban jamono ci la Lanka ñoo bokk ak yéen.
Lanka dañ fa fanaanee ca ëllëg sa rek.
Lanka, when we spent the night the following day at the NIA.
The election lañ ko indi.
That was the following day he was brought there.
Can you tell us about the story of Lanka, how you saw him when he arrived, and some of the conversations you must have had?
Mun nga ñoo wax mbiri Lanka naka nga ko gisee bam accès ak yan façon waxtaan moom ngeen doon seexa.
Waaw Lanka bim ñëwee.
Lanka, when he came,
Balañ ko gis ñun.
Before we saw him,
Ki ñun ci cell bi.
we were in the cell.
Moom dañ ko indi direct.
He was brought direct
Yóbbu ko office Jim Dramé.
and took him to the office, Jim Drame's
Dintu
office,
lim nettali.
according to what he narrated to us,
Parce que ñun ñu ci cell bi bam demee dañ ko yóbbu foofu direct.
because we were in the cell.
Moo Jim ak nitam yi.
And Jim and his people,
So ñun ba li tax ñu understand ne Lanka sax mu ngi fa dëgg-dëgg.
how we understood that Lanka was there,
Mooy yu xoom yi.
his wailing, the way he was crying,
Yuuxu.
He screams.
his scream.
Te man xam bu yuuxoo Lanka bu waxee ma xàmmee ko bu yuuxoo lu ne parce que.
I recognize his voice when he screamed,
ñoo
when he
bokk
talks,
koñ.
because we were in the same street.
Ma ne
Since
gaay
he was a kid.
ma ne gaay yuuxu yi Lanka la de te dinañ wax noonu dinañ ko indi.
I
am
told
naa
them that
moom.
this screaming is Lanka, and I knew that they will bring him.
Foofu lañ nekk yuuxu yi dégg yuuxu yi ba déggatuñ ko.
That's the time we had his screaming until we didn't hear it anymore.
Ndeke booba rëcc na ci seen loxo.
That's the time he escaped from them.
Parce que ku ñooy dóor dañ laa futti ku mun a doon niñ ko futtee noonu.
Anybody who was been beaten there, he was naked.
Noonu la Lanka dawee depuis foofu ba seen headquarter.
That's how Lanka ran from there up to their
Ni ko
headquarters,
ndeyam juree.
naked.
Yàggul dara Jim taal moto.
Not long,
Jim Dramé
pick a car
boole ci nitam yi
and with his people
dàqee Lanka.
and followed Lanka.
Ñoom ñoo ko dàqee ba Banjul police station.
They were the one who chased him up to Banjul police station.
Fekk Lanka dugg na seen office foofu.
That's the time when Lanka entered to their office.
Ñu jox ko seen sot yi ñu dee traîner.
They gave him one of their sorts that they were meant for training.
Bi mu commencé di expliquer rek Jimin aksi.
The time he was trying to narrate what happened to him, they arrived, Jim and his people arrived.
Jim ne leen kii lañ toppasi.
Jim told them that this is the one we are following.
Parewuñ ci keesam bi mu ñëw fii.
We are not yet done with his case, and he came here.
Seen boss ñoom Lanka joxaat leen ko ñu delloosi ko.
His boss was handed him over to
But
them
of
again.
course, you were not present when all this thing happened. How did you know?
Lanka ko explain de.
That's how Lanka explained this thing.
Ñun ñëpp a ngi ci benn cell 28 days foog ñu waxtaan.
We were all in the same cell for 28 days. We must have conversation.
So Lanka told you about this at what stage? When did he tell you this?
Lanka yim la netalil ni ban jamono la ko netalil.
Bi mu jógee ci bi ko gaay yi indee noonu.
When he was brought back,
bañ waxtaan ñoom itam seen boss taal motoom topp ñëwaat NIA toppasi leen moom
the
itam.
boss also followed him to the NIA
bañ waxtaan ñoom i neen ñoom boss yi foofu.
until they have their own conversation, the bosses themselves.
ci lañ indi Lanka dugal ko ci suñ biir ci
At the
cell.
time Lanka was brought into our cell.
Was that the time Lanka told you about all this?
Jamono bobu la Lanka netalil li yep.
Exactly ci la commencé di narrate fi mu jaar yëpp.
Exactly, that was the time he started narrating all what he passed
And
through.
this was just soon after the events.
Te lolu moy jamono
Immediately after the event.
Waaw
bi li xewé rek ci la ko netalil.
exactly.
Exactly.
So you were ultimately granted bail. What happened to that case?
Gannaaw bi nak ci lañ la dal di bail seen bir nak naka la mujjé.
Mujjut fen daw naa ko biir Kaama Banjul almost 2 years.
Last nowhere, I was from Banjul, Birkama for 2 years.
Saa ma pare ma eb ñoom Lanka suma moto hasul suma fuel def ci.
Every time I hustle for my fuel, I pick Lankas in my vehicle.
Ñun ñëpp ñu dem Banjul.
We all go to Banjul.
Suñ demee dañoo toog bu ñu ooyee rek ñu ne adjoint.
Every time we were called, we were mentioned, and it was later asked, we were asked that it was adjourned. We were told it was adjourned.
Almost jege na 2 years.
Almost to 2 years.
ñu xëy bés rek.
There was one fine day.
ñu dem.
We went there.
bañ àggee taxaw rek suma ji ma judge bi ne accuse and discharge.
The judge just announced accused and discharged.
nii la ñu accuse and discharge.
Acquitted and discharged.
This is how we were acquitted and discharged.
waaw nii lañ fa génne.
That's how we were out of that place.
Tell us in very simple terms, what was it you did that became the cause of your prosecution by the case for conspiracy to traffic in drugs.
wax ñu rek ci anam yu gàtt rek ci tënka yow naka nga mun a duggee ci mbir mi bañ wax ne yow da nga yëgoon li xew te bokkoon nga ci xam-xam bi nga xam ne moo doon dox ci mbiri drogue yooyu noonu.
lan nga
def bañ
ba tax ñu tuumal la ne da nga bokkoon ci wax bu dee boo xam ne moo doon pour jaay drogue.
waaw maanaam li ma boole.
lan nga def.
lima def daal man ci xew-xew bi yépp.
All what I did in the incidents.
mooy maa boole.
I am the one who reported the incident.
to the drug squad.
To the drug squad.
xaw ma leen guddi xaw ma leen bëccëg.
I don't know them. I was not there.
waaw bi ma ko déggee maa boole.
But when I had it, I reported.
So for doing your civic duty, for doing what the country expects you to do, you are prosecuted by the state.
pour nga def li nga xam ne moom la doomi réew war a def li nga xam ne moom la sa réew séntu ci yow pour nga def ko def loolu rek moo tax moo la dugal ci tooxi doona bi nga xam ne ci nga dugga noonu.
wallahi.
Yes,
loolu kese la alxuraan laa téye waat ko.
So instead of you being hailed as a hero, instead of you being protected as a person who's done what his nation expected him to do, you are treated like a criminal.
yow lu utee nag yow ñu tàggala ekkati sa tur si yow li nga xam ne loolu nga def muy li sa wareef comme doomi réew bu baax ñu war la cee aar war la cee toppa war la cee tagga bu baax gërëm la ci njàmbaar yaa googu nga def lu utee loolu ñu far la ci toroxal yow.
waaw noonu la demee.
Yes, that's how it happened.
toroxaange rek laa am ci liggéey boobu.
Only pain that I have.
ñàkka lu bëri sax de.
And lost a lot.
Tell us the impact it had on you and your family.
wax ñu nag lii ban loraange la la indil yow yak say njaboot.
loraange bu njëkk bi mooy.
The impact is, first of it.
xëy na ni ma waxee nii Brikama yëpp ak maa gis.
The way I am just looking at everybody in Brikama is watching.
bi ma juddoo ba tey.
Since I was born.
police musuma yóbbu.
I was never been arrested by police.
kenn du la ne mus naa koo gis mu ngi taxaw courthouse.
Nobody can tell you that they have ever seen me in the courthouse.
kenn du la ne maa ko musa àtteeg diw waxtu sangam.
Nobody can attest that I have been separated with somebody quarreling.
musuta am suma life.
It has never happened in my life.
loolu la ma Brikama xamee.
That's how I was known in Brikama.
noonu la ma suma mbokk yi xamee.
That's how my relatives knew me of.
bi lii xewee.
When this happened,
suma jabar.
my wife.
suma jabar bu mag aaw bi.
The first wife.
parce que ñaar la am ku nekk ak këram.
Because I have two wives, each and every one of in his own house.
mu ngi ma fekk ci aaw bi.
That day I was at the house of the first wife. He was a bit older.
bi lii xewee.
When this thing happened.
moom loolu daf ci jëlee daal lu kenn xamut.
He was just
feebar.
She was traumatized with this.
bu ma mun a ooyee ne amoon na ci presso daal.
Which I know that he was later developed. She was later developed with pressure.
balaa maa génn man ci 28 days boobu.
Before I was out of those 28 days.
moom moog suma doom yi.
Herself and my children.
sonn nañ trop.
They really suffered.
te lu ne dégg nañ ko.
They had many things.
mu doonoon naxar bu rëy.
And it was very painful.
because ñoom dañ ma gis Brikama maag kilifa yi.
Because they saw me Brikama with elders.
la ma yàlla booleet.
Those that God put me with them.
yàlla mee ma bu mag ñi jógee maag ñoom la.
God helped me with when the elders are up, I'm with them.
bu xale yi jógee maag ñoom la.
When the children were engaged, I was with them.
dem na ba fu dara xewee sax foo xam ne lu ñu war a dem lijjanti la wala defar ko.
It went up to a time that when there's something happened that we should go for an arrangement.
foog ñu ne oo leen di ànd ak moom.
I must be called.
yàlla mee na ko lu dara du yàqu ci kanamam.
God helped me that nothing can spoil in my presence.
ñu ñëw toog nag ñooñu ñëpp ay kilifa yi diggante jàkka yeeg jumaa yi nga xam ne maag ñoom nii la.
We were all with this mosque and I was always with them.
ñu ñëw dégg ne dañ ma jëlee suma kër maa ngi jaay drogue.
And they heard that I was picked from my house, that I was selling drugs.
man sax yóbbu beeg summi bi dara fiilatuma ko ndax li nit ñi war a dégg ci biti.
Because the arrest and being stripped of, that was not something that I still feel, but what they had at the back.
I wasn't too particularly bothered about being arrested and stripped naked, but the impact of the allegations against me that I was dealing in drugs was even more serious.
Oh, yes.
That's what you said, right?
Exactly.
Why it was serious in me? People put me to a very high place. I was respected well, even with the women's kafos. Those who take me as their honorary father.
West Coast
Only for West Coast is up to 6. And they were a good group of women, very respected. Berewuleng, where I was born. Many people just hear about it. They are the only one who they have dignity.
People who live there in Borewuleng have dignity and they have great respect.
Exactly.
And those people today, no matter how big Berewuleng is, I am their chairman today. Anything, I am the one who talked of it. Or
I am the chief or main organizer of things in Borewuleng.
If you go to Jeddah, where my house is, the most influential kafos, they take me as their honorary father. And one day they just heard about that their father is arrested because of selling drugs. That one. That I even forgot what I did at the NIA. Up to today, when my mind goes back, it's something very big to me.
Imam Ratif of Birkama,
Alaji Sankum Ture.
Wallahi do def dara tay te owudma.
He has never done anything that I was accepted. If everybody is at the mosque and he has something to say or to do, maybe he's sitting watching me, he must ask about me. And I say, I'm here, and he said, come here. And all those things, and all the these people, they didn't do anything on me. Just to arrest me from my house and declare that I'm a drug dealer.
28 days.
Almost 28 days. The whole village was court. When I am going to the court, usually we have an escort in front of our people.
They used to give us a motorcycle escort all the way to
sirens.
With
sirens. When we are almost to Birkama market, all the women will get those closing their shops, those in certain things, just to go and witness the case. Sometimes it takes only up to 1 hour that I cannot enter to the courthouse. Because of the public.
That's
why the magistrate said that this case should be transferred to Banjul.
In a sense, you are telling us that your reputation as a community organizer, your reputation as a model person of model character in your area was badly affected.
maanaam daal ci li ñu bëgg a wax mooy sa jikko ju rafet jee turu rafet bee fonka giñ ak ormal biñ la ormal ci tunda woowu nga dëkkee dafa mel ni tuuma bi yàq na ci bari ci loolu.
tuuma boobu lim ci def dafa bëri.
That accuse has done a lot on me.
yàq na lu bëri.
It has spoiled many things on me.
parce que buñ ko waxee te ñiñ ko waxal xamuñ ni mu demee.
Because when it was narrated and those whom they narrated to, they didn't know how it came about.
dañ ko gëm.
They will believe in it.
te leneen itam dina tax ñu gëm ko.
And there's another thing that will make them to believe it.
man bi nga xamee ne ni sumay bàyyi naa jàng.
Me, when I left schooling.
alxuraan laa jàngee du school de.
Okay, yes.
waaw bi ma ko bàyyee.
When I left.
Quranic education.
Quranic
when I completed Quranic education.
Exactly. bi ma ko bàyyee.
When I left.
fekk suma papa man.
Then my father.
rakki suma papa la moo ma yar ñu naan ko Ma Malick Mbow.
My father's brother. Ma Malick
suma
Mbow.
papa ñoo bokk benn ndey.
He's my father's younger brother.
He's my uncle, Ma Malick Mbow.
Ma Malick Mbow.
transporteur la woon.
He was a transporter.
mbiram moo ma dugal ci moto yi.
It's because of him that I involved in cars.
In vehicles.
ay truck la amee woon.
There's many trucks.
bi ma ñëwee nag ba xàmmele ko man maa resoon truck yooyu la yëpp.
When I become responsible, I was responsible of all those vehicles.
fa laa commencé man di hustle ci di faraatu.
That's the time I start hustling.
dem ubbi Islamic Bank suma account.
And I opened an account at the Islamic Bank.
maa ngi ko ubbee 13,000 laa ko ubbee du ma ko fàtte.
I started $13,000.
in the 80s.
In the 80s.
ama ban year laa def naka waa ci 80s yi la.
But it was in the 80s. I don't know the year.
ma nekk ak banque bi.
I was with the bank.
di denc ba am 100 plus.
Until I have 100,000 plus. Long time ago.
man tam ma commencé di dem ci auction yi di jënd ay moto nii di defaraat ba mu correct ma jaay.
Also start going to the auction, buying cars and repairing them.
Brikama yëpp loolu lañ ma xamee.
Resell it. Everybody in Brikama knows me of that.
ma Islamic Bank itam dem ba óolu ma.
Islamic Bank also trusted me.
ne ñu ngi ma dégg booba Mahmoud Diagne mooy directeur bi.
He said that they were hearing me. Then Mahmoud Diagne was the director.
Mod Job moo doon invest manager.
Mod Job was the invest manager.
ma ne leen lebal leen ma xaalis ñu compté 500,000 lebal ma ko.
I took a loan there of 500,000.
ma liggéeyee 500 boobu.
And I worked with the 500,000.
commencé ci di liggéey di sampale suma kër.
I start building my compound.
ba mu demee ba wàññeeku ma laajaat leen waaye fekk fay naat 500 bi.
When the loan was almost done, I asked about another.
ñu joxaan ma 300,000.
This time around is $300,000 loan.
léegi nag nit ñaa ngi gis man maa ngi sampa di jënd moto di peinture di
People
dawal.
see that I'm investing in building and driving cars.
xamaluñ ma benn office.
They didn't know anything about me in the offices.
xamaluñ ma benn département bu may liggéey.
They didn't know any of the any department that I work.
kooku boo ko ne diw ndeke drogue la doon jaay li moo def naan ndeke moto mi la loolu la.
If that person is accused of dealing drugs,
kër gële mu sampa ndeke drogue la.
they will say that the
If
compound
such
that
a
is in.
person is accused of drug dealing, everybody would believe that all the assets I have acquired are the proceeds of drugs.
very good. fekk man maa ko ñaxa.
And that's the time I am the one who worked for
xaw
it.
ma drogue ndax dafa ñuul ndax dafa bulo.
I didn't even know whether drug is black or
ba fi
blue.
ma toog nii.
Up to where I am sitting here.
alxuraan laal xanaa taay ngeen baal ma boobu xam naa ko
I
ñax mi.
swear by the
waaye li
Quran, I
naan
know
drogue.
for wheat,
ba tey mënuma laa lan la ci àddina.
but for drug, I didn't know it.
waaye suñ ko waxee ñu bëri dinañ ko gëm because of suma effort.
But if at all it was said, everybody will believe it
hustle bi
because
ma
of my
defee
effort.
banque bi di ma jox ma xaalis boobu maay liggéey di fay ndànka.
The effort that I made, and I was given loan by the bank, and I
Islamic
started
bank
paying.
Islamic bank ngi nii demaguñ fen.
Islamic bank is here,
waaye loolu tey laa ko musa ŋaang nit dégg ko.
but that thing is only mentioned today.
waaye dina daan jaaxal sax suma xarit yi léeg-léeg ñu gis ma jënd ñu ne oxyde ma dem di jënd.
Sometimes
wala
it
ñu ne
worried my
paaka ngi
friends
fële wéri cëb ma jënd ko.
when they see me buying these oxen cars or a plot of land.
nu ma def ba am xaalis bi na leen jaaxal parce que duma leen ko wax te gisuñ ma ci benn département.
How I made those money, it will worry them because they have never seen me in any department.
Mota biñ waxé drogue bi ñu bari gom ne deug la.
That's the time when they mention about this drug, everybody believe in it.
Ñu bari fonkon ma lool commencé di withdraw.
All those who gave me respect start to withdraw.
Why ñu bari gomuñ ko.
Why some also didn't believe in it.
Ñi ma xam deug.
Those who know me very well.
Li may xex ci ndongo yoy di toxtay sax légui suma koña ki di def yenn manière yi ni may def ak ñom.
How I fought for smoking cannabis with those boys around my street.
Ñoñu dinañ gëm ne man xawma drogue.
They will believe that I didn't know about drug.
All right, proceed. So, how do you feel that such an accusation was made against you, knowing fully well that you were doing what is expected of good citizens?
Léegi nag yow lan nga yëg xam ne tuuma bu tollu noonu moom lañ jël teg ko ci sa kaw fekk yow moom la nga doon def rek mooy sa liggéey boo xam ne yaa ngi ko doon comme doomi réew bu baax def li nga xam ne moo la war nga def ko tuuma gi fekk la ci.
Waaw joxoon na ma gàcce gu rëy.
I was really disgraced.
Jox ma naqar bu rëy rëy.
With pain.
Dama ko xelaat ba sonn.
I think about this for so long.
Mike.
To conclude this, let us know what impact it had on your family and your businesses and your properties.
Léegi nag pour jeexal rek ñu wax xam tuuma googu ak mbugal boobu la xam ne moo la dal yépp lan la jural yow ci sa boppa yaak say njaboot ak sa ay alel.
Waaw bi nga xamee ne li bu ñëwee ci wàlli alel bi.
Yes, when it comes to my properties.
Xam nga wax naa fi léegi ne suma ñaari jabar yi ku ne kër laa la kër sa kër yi bopp nga ne.
You know, I just mentioned that the two of my wives, each of them has our own house.
Fiñ ma jëlee suma aaw bi suma kër.
Where I was arrested from my first wife.
Jidda amagut courant Jidda di whole Jidda courant dugg fa.
Then there was no electricity in Jeddah.
Man dama dem jënd generator.
I bought a generator.
Generator list ba ko jëndee 45,000.
Generator list that I bought for 45,000.
You mako jaay sax ñu ko doon ak Keba Cissé musoon naa nekk fi director of NSS time boobu wala NIA xaw ma.
The one I saw him, it was one time the director of NSS, Keba Cissé.
Ma ko yónnee container fekk generator baa ngi ci biir.
His son sent him a container when the generator was there.
Ma jënd generator boobu.
I bought that generator.
Dem fix ko suma kër.
And I fixed it in my house.
Booba courant amut di whole Jidda foofu.
And there was no electricity in Jeddah.
Su time taal télé jotee.
When it's time to sit on the television,
dama génne télé bi ci digg éta bi.
I always take the television outside.
Taal generator bi.
And I put on the generator.
Koñ boobu yëpp mag ak ndaw ñëpp fa la ñuy ñëw seetaan.
Everybody in the street come to watch the television because there was no electricity.
Ma am fa fridge itam bu mag moo ko doxal.
I also had a free refrigerator.
Fa la ñoo ñaan seen ndox mu sedd.
That's where they come and pick cool water.
Bitig bi ma fa defit ñu ñëw di jënd foofu daal lañ yaakaar ci lu sedda.
That's the only place that they thought of when it comes to cold thing.
Bi ma NIA le yóbboo.
When I was arrested by the NIAs.
The election ndax ca gannaaw election.
The following day or the next day.
Lañ ñëw jël generator boobu.
They came and took the generator.
Who took the generator?
Kana ko jël?
Boobu mënuma leer wax dëgg parce que dama waat ci Alxuraan.
That one I couldn't tell because I swear.
Waaye xam naa ne.
But I know that.
Su ma ko doon jéeñ nit.
If I am to accuse anybody.
NIA laa ko jéeñ.
I will just accuse the NIA.
ñoom ñoo ma jëlee foofu yóbbu ma.
They were the one who picked me from my house.
After 2 days.
Mi
generator bi dem.
The generator was gone.
But how did the generator disappear? The people who took it must have said something to the occupants of your house.
Waaw naka la generator bi demee noonu am naa ñi ko jël si ñoom foog ñu wax dara ñi nga xam ne ñoom lañ fekk sa kër.
Bi ma génnee ba laajte de suma njaboot gi after bi ñu amee bail.
When I was out, when I was guaranteed bail and I asked my family.
ñoom biñ ko yóbbu yëguñ ko.
They said that when it was taken, they were not aware.
Suma jabar yëgu ko suma doom yëguñ ko.
My wife was not aware, my children were not aware.
Can we conclude that the generator was stolen?
Kon xëj na mun nañoo wax ne dañ ko sàcc.
Exactly. Noonu la demee.
That's how it was.
Waaw léegi bu jógee ci wàll boobu.
When we are done with that part.
Binga hamene ne nyungi fi 28 days.
When we were there for 28 days.
Neka ci court be almost 2 years.
With the court also for 2 years.
Suma kayiti kër gi nga xamne fa la seet ba ne.
All my compound documents where my second wife is.
Mom la wax suma jabar ne ko mo and ak suma brother am kum ko yobul. Kayiti këram gi.
That's how I asked my brother and my wife to take the document.
Am fum ko tek.
And where he will place it.
It was pledged, Tyler, right?
Tyler, wow.
Okay.
Tyler ko.
Okay.
Yes.
It was pledged to somebody. I mean, for money.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Because of lawyer, pour ma muna am lawyer, ñom ñu mun ma jëlal lawyer.
So that I can take a service of a lawyer.
How much did you pay as lawyers' fees?
Ñaata nga fayon lawyer wi?
Wow, du ben lawyer sa di ay lawyer.
It was not only one lawyer, it's lawyers.
Please.
Okay. Bi nga xamé ne yóbbu nañ kayiti kër gi.
When they were taking the documents.
My first lawyer.
My first lawyer.
Lamin Jobate. Mom la njëkk jël.
He was the first person that I hired his services.
60,000 la charge.
$60,000. That's what he charged, and he was paid.
You dem tuuti rek.
Just for some time.
You ne mom def nañ ko Minister of Justice.
He was the Minister of Justice.
He was made Minister of Justice. Appointed Minister of Justice.
Wow. So koku dem.
That one left.
Ñu jël Lamin Mbodj.
We took Lamin Mbodj.
For 50,000.
For 50,000.
Koku itam ñu fay ko.
That man, he was also paid.
Koku itam dem for some months rek.
He went for 2 months.
1, 2, 3 sitting rek.
1 to the third sittings.
Mom ci bopam mo am problem.
He himself involved in a problem.
Ñu arrest ko for yóbbu ko.
He was arrested.
Ku ci mujja.
The last one.
Lamin Sanyang.
Lamin Sanyang.
Muson na nekk Minister of Justice.
He was one time the Minister of Justice.
Koku la mujjé jël.
That was the last person that I hired his services.
Koku itam lim charge on suma fatewut 45,000.
That one also, if I didn't forget, he charged for 45,000.
Ñu fay ko.
And he was paid.
Ñoo koku la.
And we were with him.
Baby ñoo accused and discharged.
Till we were acquitted and discharged.
Wow. Ñetti lawyer yëpp jaar nañ suma affaire fii.
Those were the 3 lawyers that I hired.
In essence, you paid about $155,000 towards lawyers' fees.
Exactly. Pour lawyer rek la.
Boole seen li nga fay lawyer rek dem na ba ci téeméer ak juróom fukk ak juróomi junne dalasi.
In the meantime, what happened to your mortgage, to the property that you gave out as sortie for the payment of, as guarantee, security for the payment of the loan? What happened to it?
Kër googu nga xam ne moom nga jëloon nga tayle ko pour nga mun a am loo fayee sa lawyer yi naka la kër ga mujjee.
Kër ga dama ko mujjee ñàkk.
I end up losing the house.
Because bi ma génnee noonu amatuma kàttani lijjanti sax pour mun a fay.
Because when I was out, I couldn't arrange for anything to pay back.
You said your wife developed pressure, high blood pressure. Where is she today?
Late.
Nga ne sa jabar daf ci mujj amee sa high blood pressure ana mo
moom. Ci loolu la doxee gaañu.
She died now.
Sama jabar bu mag bi.
She already died now.
Gaañu na.
She died.
No further questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Council, and thank you, Mr. Cham, for your testimony.
Thank you.
Council, jërëjëf Cham ci sa seede yi.
Sorry that you had to endure so much yet again in the hands of agents of the state. One quick question before I ask commissioners to pose any questions they have for you. When you mentioned Ansumana and his injuries, at one point you said that they were holding him overnight or so, and perhaps with other detainees, I wasn't too sure of that. They were being taken to their own doctors. You seem to use that. With doctors, their own doctors, NIA doctors, or Sumana and other detainees are doctors?
li ma la bëgg a laaj fii laajte bu gàtt la rek balaa commissioner yi di laajte mooy ne Ansumana mii nga wax ne dañ ko gaañoon ci kanamam bi wax nga fi ne dañ ko daan jël ay guddi di ko yóbbu ci seeni docteur yi boppa yoo xam ne ci ruxa ba lañ ko daan yóbbu ñooñu docteur yi NIA lañ wala docteur yi ñi fa jàppalañ
waaw man àgguma fa de waaye xam naa ne li Ansumana wax
I didn't
do Ansumana rek Ansumana la gaañoom gën a serious waaye ñi ñëpp seen yaram yi dafa dog ñëpp la ñëw dress all of them.
I didn't go there, but according to Ansumana, though Ansumana was the one wounded on his private part, but and it was more serious. But others, they were all beaten. It's only one car, one vehicle. And they were all parked in the vehicle. Except me, that I was never beaten and wounded. When they went and came back, we all usually sit and chat. Sometimes they will go quickly, they will come back. Sometimes they will spend time. If they just go and come back, I ask them, it's not that you went to the big hospital? They said, no, it was not there.
Okay,
It's where they said these people have their own doctors here. If at all it's not within the same premises, it is not very much far. Though I have never seen them and I have never been there, but I know that they have their own doctors.
Exactly.
Thank you. Did they tell you the names of those doctors?
No, we have not gone to that level.
Okay. Commissioners, if you have any questions, please indicate. Commissioner Samba, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay.
Babukar.
No.
Mangla master wuji chono binga daj.
Jerejef.
Thank you.
Why fogulone?
Don't you think that
Chono binga chono yep.
with all your suffering,
NIA sen leku kay binga ay guy mota ñu tek la chono bobu.
this NIA, you deny them where they can extort money. That's why you were tortured. That's why why you were being treated like that.
Wow, because
Yes, because those people, they just went there to take money.
When you say the drug squad, when
they saw the drug squad, they want to chase them out from there. They said that that's their right, the drug squad. That's where they have pull and push until a gun was shot up.
Legi comme man ma pousse ñu dugga fa mané dina dugga ci ciono bi parce que suma ko waxton ñoñu duñ ko yek.
They said that because I'm the one who pushed them there, because if I didn't have informed them, they wouldn't have gone there.
Because I was the whistleblower, if I did not inform the drug squad, then the drug squad members would not have gone to the scene and spoiled the deal.
Correct.
Ñaarel bi lima la bëgg laaj moy.
Second correction is,
am nga yow yang doon def ne yow doomi Gambian pire nga.
you were saying that you are a patriotic citizen.
Mbolem luy wara yaxa réew mi yow bëgguloo ko woon.
Anything that can spoil this country, you don't need it, you don't want it.
Bëggoon nga taxaw ne at least drogue boobu noonu mu mun a génn parce que su génnu dina yàq suñ ndaw yi.
You were trying to save our children, youths, because of that drug.
Si ndimbal boobu noonu nga nekk nga amee ci coono bii nii foog nga ne ëllëg soo gisee fu ñoo jaayee drogue di nga ñeme ñangaan.
With all those good efforts, you end up being in this problem. You were jeopardized. So, do you think that someday, when you see this kind of thing, will you act?
Well, dina don jafe trop parce que ñu ne bundo bin ré sa mam fo gisé lu ñul daw.
Yes, because I mean it will be difficult.
Lolu dina
It will
jafe
be difficult because once bitten, twice shy.
Yes.
Lolu mo taxone xalé yi nga xamné ragalon nañ ma trop sax ci seen biri toxum tay bi la suñ koñ ak yoyu.
Those kids who were, the youths who were so afraid of me during this time of smoking ganja and the like,
when
this thing happened,
some of
them, they start daring me.
So duñ mako wax direct wa suma live ñi kanam batani foy mamuta dro ko la jax.
They didn't tell me directly, but when I passed, they usually